Hi Scorpio, welcome to your March 2020 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I actually won't be offering those probably until around April, possibly a little bit earlier than that. If I do start them up any earlier than that, just check out the community section of my channel for any updates there, or possibly when I post the April videos, I may make an update there as well. As for what we have in front of us, we have what I call the bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through those, we'll pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Alright, so with all that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have illusion. So this is the equivalent of the moon card in traditional tarot. With this coming up in the past position, this could be playing out a couple of different ways. For one, it could just be saying, now given that this represents the energy you brought to the connection, it could just be saying that you might have been causing some confusion for the person you were dealing with in the past. Or another way this could be playing out could be saying that you might have been the one who wasn't necessarily seeing things clearly. It does say illusion, but given that it is in the upright, I don't necessarily think that it was deliberate in the majority of cases. For some cases, definitely that could have been the case. But for most of you, I feel like this was just more of a misunderstanding between the two energies. The past energy on their side, we have the Tower. So this is actually a pretty intense card, especially in this deck in particular. Here we do see, at least in the artwork, the depiction of a third-party situation. Now, I do have to say, given that it's matched up with illusion on your side, this doesn't necessarily have to mean that that was actually what was going on, but at the very least, it looks like that's what someone thought was going on. So, a couple ways I could see this playing out. Now, for some of you, I do have to at least mention that possibly maybe some of you were engaged in some kind of a third-party dynamic, and maybe this person found out about it, and that could have been where the illusion was coming into play there. For others of you, it could be the other way around, where maybe you thought that that was what was going on as well. But I do have to say that keep in mind this is with illusion, so it might have just been that that was the actual perception, and there was no actual proof of that. Now, the only good thing I will say about this card coming up is that it is in the past position. So if that's the case, whatever this was, for any of you who did experience a tower moment, it already did pass. So this isn't something that you guys have to worry about still taking place, either in the present or future. This would already be something you guys knew about if this is your story. So, like I said, it could be either way. I do have to say that for most of you, though, I do feel like this is something where this person might have been the one who thought there was something going on. Whether there was actually something going on or not is, going to vary from story to story, but that's what I'm seeing there, given what I see in the present position. Present position on your side, we have the Four of Arrows. So this is actually a Libra energy here, which for you guys is your 12th house. And also this is the card that comes after the Three of Swords, naturally. So to me, this represents some healing. So for those of you, let's say, where maybe, like I said, maybe if you were in some kind of a third-party dynamic, this could just represent that you guys are healing from that. Now, if it was you guys who might have been engaged in that, it might be you guys who want to heal the connection. That could be one way that this energy is playing out. But either way, the way I usually see these cards, this card rather, with the arrows, is that one laying across the bed represents the Ace of Swords, which is truth. So to me, that represents some truth coming out that actually assist with the healing process, because the Three of Swords or Three of Arrows, normally those three arrows are in the heart. So if we see them out along with this, that's what I see, that some kind of truth comes out in the present for you guys that actually helps the healing process of the connection. But what I see on their side in the present is the Two of Cups in reverse. Well, Two of Chalices in this deck, but same energy as the Two of Cups. So for this to be in reverse, what I'm seeing there is that this could just be saying that, and this is why I feel like for some of you, this is definitely on your side. If there was some kind of illusion, whether you guys just wanted them to think that there was something else going on, but there actually wasn't, or if they just misunderstood that because maybe you were acting a little bit strange. This could just be saying that if you're trying to heal the connection, it doesn't look like they're ready to do so at this point, given that this is in the reverse position. Now, for others of you too, it could just be saying that maybe this was what they, this might have been separate from you guys. Maybe they were the ones who actually, in a separate connection, went through this type of dynamic. And this is just saying that they're not ready to start a new connection yet. So that could also be at play as well, because the Two of Cups usually does represent a new connection. So that can just be saying that you might be dealing with someone who might have went through some kind of heartbreak in the recent past, where there was some kind of betrayal, and because of that, they're not necessarily ready. And it could just be saying that you're trying to, go through the process with them of healing, but they're just not quite ready to actually start a new connection yet. So that's another dynamic that I'm seeing now, looking at the present energies. Future energy, we have temptation on your side. So this is the equivalent of the devil card in traditional tarot. So for you guys, that is Capricorn energy, but for you guys, Capricorn is your house of communication. There's tons of energy going on there. You have Saturn there, Pluto there, Jupiter there. South Node is still there for a little bit longer, and Mars recently got into this house as well. So a lot going on for you guys in that house of communication. So this can just be saying that you're, again, like I said, if there was some of you in the past who did do something wrong where you might have stepped out of this connection, it could just be saying that you're really trying to work to get the connection back on track. Or flip side, if you guys thought they were doing something and you might have falsely accused them of it, and again, maybe the truth came out with that Four of Arrows energy, with the, like I said, that could be the ace, and then these are the three swords being pulled out. Could just be saying that, they might not be ready to forgive and forget as quickly as you are. Again, like I said, if you falsely accuse them of something. So maybe this is you just trying to lure them back into the connection. For others of you, this can just be a connection where maybe you guys have just been disconnected for a while anyway, and now even you, even if it was this person in the past that might have been led toward another connection, maybe now it's you who's led toward another connection. But for a lot of you, I feel like this is you trying to actually get things back on track with someone. Future energy on their side is the Eight of Swords. So again, a similar energy as far as, like I was saying, with the Two of Cups in reverse, that they're not ready to start anything new. I'm still kind of seeing that vibe here as well. But what's interesting to me about this particular Eight of Swords is, if we look at the background there, that figure actually looks a lot like the figure that they use for the Devil card in this deck. So this could be, again, given that you guys have the Devil card on your side, could just be saying if this was a connection that they've already severed because there was some kind of betrayal in the past, and again, maybe you've been trying to get back with this person and they're not really having it. Seeing this energy come up here, which is the Eight of Swords, which represents not really willing or able to make a move at this time, looks like this could just be saying that they can be tempted by you if you are actually trying to get the connection back intact with them. But yeah, I see that this would represent that there's not going to be any immediate movement if that's the case. Trying to see if anything else comes to mind with this card. But yeah, so the more I'm looking at this connection, it looks like this could be a situation where you might have, again, maybe falsely accused someone of something, or you might have been doing something and they broke the connection off. It's kind of hard to see which of those two scenarios it is, but those are definitely the two main ones that I'm seeing. It looks like you might be ready to start the healing process and move things along. They might not be there quite yet. So that's the only reason why I feel like for a lot of you, it could be the energy on this side that actually might have done something wrong or falsely accused someone of doing something wrong. And keep in mind, too, this is a general spread also. So if you feel like this sounds more like your energy, this sounds more like theirs, then definitely trust that as well. But that's what I'm seeing here primarily, that this person doesn't seem quite ready to jump back into the connection at this time. And then at the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, and it also represents putting in the work. And to see this energy coming up here, if we look at the artwork in this deck in particular, it looks like this person's trying to offer the rose, and this person doesn't seem too interested in it. But yet they are still in close proximity, right? So it could just be saying that the connection is still there, but this person, again, if they feel like they were falsely accused, or if you had done something in the past that they haven't forgiven yet, they might just want to see you put in the work to actually repair the connection. So it might just take a little bit more time. And given that this is the energy here. This could just be saying that maybe around the time of the Virgo full moon, which is going to be, I think, around just after the end of the first week of March. Maybe that could be when you make that offer and start to try to repair the connection. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. And on your side, we have the Ace of Staves. So definitely represents that energy of renewal, wanting to start something new, put in the work, right? And along with the Temptation card, it can definitely represent some sexual energy there as well. And then, interestingly enough, beneath that, we have the Ace of Arrows. So there's definitely some potential there that you guys actually, would be the ones communicating in this situation. So let's see what we get from the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get any additional messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck. So for those of you who haven't seen this type of reading from me before, I actually do pre-shuffle this deck. And I'm just looking for jumpers here. So first I'll be looking for any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing jumps up, I'll just take it as a sign to keep it moving, since it is just a general reading. So let's see if we get anything. Like I said, first I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Oh, almost had one there. Okay, got two actually that came up, and we'll see if we have any unspoken messages from them to you. Okay, got two there as well. So let's see what we have. If I could pick the cards up. There we go. All right, we have no other compares to you, and we will be together again. So yeah, at least as of right now, we haven't seen what these cards say yet, but at least as of right now, it looks like what I was feeling initially does seem to be the case, which is it either could be that maybe one of you might have stepped out in the past, or might have falsely accused someone else of doing that, which might have caused the connection to break off. And it could be as simple, especially you guys, at the time of recording this, we still have Mercury retrograde, which might be why I'm tripping over my words a bit, but you guys have Mercury retrograde in your fifth house right now. So that could definitely lead to some confusion in your love and romance sector. So that might have been as simple as that, where there could have just been some confusion around infidelity, whether it was actually taking place or not. And maybe as the month progresses, that energy starts to clear a bit. This could just be, you coming to a realization that, maybe you do still want to be with this person, and just having that determination, right, with the Temptation and the Ace of Arrows, or the Ace of Wands, wherever, with the Ace of Arrows under that, which is to say you do want to get the connection back off the ground with this person. And let's see what their cards say. Okay, we have I still love you, and you inspire me. So again, in theory, the same situation going on here, where if it was whether you might have done something or accused them of something, it looks like the love is still there, because that's what I was saying I felt too with the fact that this is basically the same figure that's in the Devil card in this deck in particular, and we look at the woman, it looks like she's looking back toward that. And given that you guys have the actual Devil card on your side, that could just be saying that, they would be open to reconnecting. It looks like they're maybe not in the present. It looks like they're not ready for that yet. So, like I said, there definitely could have been some damage done, obviously. And then with the Eight of Pentacles, too, like I said, it looks like she's not looking at that rose being offered, but at the same time, they're still in the same bed together. You know what I mean? Which to me represents that there is still love there. The connection is still there, but they just might want to see you work for it in order to, correct, get things back on course, basically. So that's what I see there. All right, and let's see what we get from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So this is the deck here, and same situation. I did pre-shuffle this one before we started recording, and I'll just be looking for one jumper here though, and then we'll wrap up. Alright, nothing coming up yet, but I do want to at least get one card from here, so I'll shuffle for a little longer, see if we get a jumper. Worst case, if we don't, I'll just pull a random one, but let me see if we get anything. Okay, yeah, nothing's coming up, so give me a second. Let's put this down. We'll just pick a random card. Let me see. Alright. We have Come to the Edge. There's the artwork, and the number is 36. So let's see what this says. Okay, it says courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. The Oracle's message, facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. So definitely an interesting message there, and it looks like it's saying, especially if there was some kind of disconnect that, maybe there was some confusion on your part that might have led to something, and now you are, again, like I was saying, I felt with the main spread, trying to get the connection back on track. It could just be nudging you forward to actually make that move. But like I said, just keep in mind, it looks like, yes, there is still love there, but in the present, they might not really be willing to reconnect, but looks like that can change over time, so keep that in mind. Alright, the relationship message says it's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you, especially the parts that you've kept hidden and protected. Now is the time to take that risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You'll be glad you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step toward the gods and they will deliver what you truly desire. So, definitely a pretty interesting message there as well. And, like I said, it really could be as simple as that, where maybe you were acting in a way, and maybe it was because you were a bit closed off and didn't want to, be vulnerable, that might have led them to think something was going on. And maybe because of that, they might have severed the connection. And maybe now you're coming to that realization, that maybe you do need to open up a bit. Because, that is something I see happen sometimes when people talk about Scorpios, that like they'll feel like you guys are up to something shady, even when you're not, just because you could be so closed off sometimes, you know what I mean? So hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.